This is Accurate TV News,
where you get your news on time, on point, and
Clansman gang trial. The highly anticipated July 3 sentencing of the Clansman one-don gang leader Andre Blackman Bryan and 14 other gang members has been postponed to September in the Home Circuit Court. Kadisha Fletcher, Director of Client Services, Communication and Information at the Court Administration Division, confirmed that the matter was pushed back to the Michaelmas term, but that a date has not been made agreed upon by the lawyers and the prosecutors in the case. The postponement is due to unavailability of the Chief Justice Brian Skies, who is currently involved in ongoing matters in the Trelawney Circuit. Brian was found guilty of being a leader of a criminal organization, while the other gangsters, including Stephanie Mumakol Christie, a so-called pastor from St. Thomas, were found guilty of being a member of the St. Catherine-based gang. Some of the gangsters were also found guilty of facilitating the commission of murder and arson, while Rowell Taylor was found guilty of possession of firearm and ammunition. The other offenders are former Jamaican Defense Force member Jermaine Robinson, Brian's cousin Tomrick Taylor, Rowell Taylor, Dylan McLean, Jazeel Blake, Michael Winsley, Lamar Simpson, Tariq James, Fabian Johnson, Joseph McDermott, Andre Golding, Brian Morris, and Ted Prince. 33 defendants were initially hauled before the court. 17 were freed and 1 was killed. Of the 17 who were freed, 5 of them were previously concealed by the prosecution following a no-case submission by the defense. But for those who made it to the end, some were found not guilty because the evidence was insufficient, while others escaped conviction after the counts on which they were charged failed. The charge for leadership of a criminal organization attracts a maximum sentence of 30 years, while membership and facilitating both have a maximum of 20 years. The judge also has the power under the anti-gang legislation to order at least 2 consecutive sentences. Meanwhile, among those freed was Jason Citypus Brown, who the court heard was the deputy leader and, based on the recorded conversation attributed to him, was a strong supporter of Brian and a loyalist. Brown was heard in the recording tracing the gang history from the infamous leader Donovan Bulby Bennett to his alleged successor Tasha Miller down to Brian. In that recording, he was also heard bragging about how he had killed the father of one of the now freed defendants and how he had also ordered an attack on a police station. However, although Brown was said to be a member of the gang, none of his 2 witnesses had seen him. As such, he was identified by an inspector who had heard his voice on a recording and went undercover to speak to him while he was in custody. Forensic psychiatric evaluation ordered for Manchester woman charged with husband's murder. The Manchester woman, accused of the brutal murder of her police husband during a domestic dispute at their home in May, was this morning remanded until July 19 for a forensic psychiatric evaluation. Kerry-Ann Blair is facing charges of murder, unauthorized possession of firearm, and unauthorized possession of ammunition in connection with the death of Constable Damian Blair. When she appeared in the Home Circuit Court via voluntary bill today, her lawyer Tamika Harris requested the evaluation. Justice Leighton Pusey also ordered that Harris be provided with reports of any psychiatric treatment her client may have received at the Mandeville Regional Hospital in Manchester. The police report that about 6:40 p.m. on the day in question, the policeman and his wife were having an argument which escalated. It is being alleged that his wife used his service weapon to shoot him. It is also being alleged that the husband was hit with a blunt object during the incident. Neighbors reportedly heard explosions and alerted the police. On the arrival of the police, Blair was seen suffering from injuries and his wife was seen lying in blood with what appeared to be stab wounds. They were taken to hospital where Blair was pronounced dead and his wife was admitted in serious condition. conviction, the woman allegedly attempted to commit suicide following the murder. Brothers charged for stabbing of Cumberland schoolboy. 2 brothers have been charged in connection with the stabbing of a male student from Cumberland High School in Portmore St Catherine. The 14-year-old and 19-year-old siblings charged with wounded with intent, assault occasioning grievous bodily harm, and conspiracy. They had surrendered to the police a day after the June 15 attack. The police are seeking 2 other suspects in the case. The 11th grade student was attacked by a group of men who chopped and stabbed him several times. The student, who was hospitalized following the attack, reportedly intervened in the dispute between 2 students and was later set upon by men from a neighboring community who were called to the scene by one of the students who were involved in the dispute.